History of Arabs, Arab nations. Historians divide the Arab nation into three groups. Arab Bai. These are the ancient Arab people who lived in this country. Most of you must have heard the name of Ad and Thamud among them. Apart from them, Amalika, Tassam, Jadis, Amam etc. are also important. These people they had established kingdoms from Iraq to Syria and Egypt. Babylonian and Assyrian kingdoms and the founders of ancient civilizations were these people. History is unable to tell us anything in detail about how these nations disappeared from the page. But now there are revelations from the archaeology of Babylon, Egypt, Yemen and Iraq, and books are being written. While the nation of Ad and Thamud. Regarding this, the Holy Quran also tells us that when these nations exceeded the limit in their disobedience to Allah, they were surrounded by the punishment of God and they were annihilated. Arabs are also called Banu Qatan. They are descendants of Sam bin Nah, the son of Hazrat Nah, peace be upon him, and these people settled here after the destruction of ancient Arabia, Ad Thamud etc., and being wiped out from the Arabian Peninsula. Qatan was the grandson of Hazrat Nah, peace be upon him, after whom these people were called Banu Qatan. At first these people settled in the region of Yemen. Then there came a period when Banu Qatan had to migrate to other parts of the Arab land. The areas had to be diverted. This flood is also mentioned in the Holy Quran. And the second reason is that when their population expanded, their various tribes had to leave Yemen and find new areas for themselves, as a result of which these people spread throughout the Arabian Peninsula. While some tribes in Syria and they also went to the border areas of Iran and Arabia and established their settlements there. While a tribe of Banu Jarham went to Makkah and because of the spring of Zamzam, the permission of Hazrat Hara, the wife of Hazrat Ibrahim, peace be upon him, was granted. Settled there since. A tribe of Banu Qatan, the chief of Izad, Thalba, came with his tribe to Yathrib, Madinah, and defeated the few families of Bani Israel who lived here, built forts and planted oases. From his descendants, Aus and Khazraj, there were two famous tribes of Madinah which have a very high place in the history of Islam. Arab Mustaraba. Banu Ishmael was the last to settle on the land of Arabia. They are also called Arab Mustaraba. Hazrat Ibrahim, peace be upon him, took his wife Hazrat Hara and his infant son Hazrat Ismail, peace be upon him, to Mecca, and settled in the Gaya Valley, and went back by himself. It should be remembered that at that time there was no population of Makkah nor the existence of the Kaaba. The Kaaba was built at the time of Hazrat Adam, peace be upon him. Hazrat Ismail, a.s., was 15 years old when Hazrat Ibrahim, a.s., came to Makkah and the two father and son together rebuilt the Kaaba on the same foundations under the command of Allah and under the guidance and supervision of Hazrat Gabriel, a.s. Did Hazrat Adam, peace be upon him, ever build on them? When the condition of Hazrat Ismail, a.s., began to deteriorate due to extreme heat and thirst, Hazrat Hara, that great mother's indecisive running started, which is still an essential part of Hajj. In search of water, you sometimes climb the Safa hill and see far away that maybe you can see water somewhere, and sometimes you climb the Marwa hill in the opposite direction of Safa, but if there was water there, you would have seen it. When the sound of his crying would reach his mother's ears, she would run to him indecisively, and when she would see him dying of thirst and crying, then she would go madly in search of water. At the same time, what do you see that where little Ismail, peace be upon him, was rubbing his heels, water is boiling in the form of a spring. He also drank and then built a mud temple in the form of a pond around this fountain, but when the water started to flow out from the sides of the pond, it came out of his mouth. Zam Zam, stay, 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 and as he said this, the water stopped. Here I want to share with you a miraculous thing about the well of Zamzam. In present times water is pumped out by installing big motors in these wells. The water level in the well is always 6 feet below the foundation of the Kaaba. It is 24 hours continuous water is extracted from the well, the amount of which is in millions of gallons. Now two very strange things appear. One is that the level of the well, which is reduced due to continuous withdrawal of water in 24 hours, returns to its original place very quickly in just 11 minutes. And what is even more surprising is that the water rising up so fast always stops automatically after reaching its level, i.e. 6 feet below the foundations of the Kaaba. Why doesn't it go up? And if this water does not stop automatically, then consider that if the water extracted for 24 hours is completed in just 11 minutes, then what will happen if this water does not stop and starts flowing out? Indeed, it is the blessing of Hazrat Hara's blessed saying, Zam Zam. stay, that it does not exceed its limits, and no matter how much water is taken from it, it just comes to its same level and stops automatically. Where he was stopped by Hazrat Hara. Now back to the main topic. A tribe of Banu Qatan, Jarhum, was mentioned above. Because the land of Arabia consists mostly of desert and mountainous areas and water is very rare, it is very important for the population to have water there. When Jarhum left his region of Yemen in search of a new homeland, when he reached the valley of Makkah during his journey, he found it appropriate to stay there because of the fountain of Zamzam. With permission, they camped near the spring and settled down. Thus Hazrat Hara and Hazrat Ismail, peace be upon him, were able to join a strong Arab tribe. Later, Hazrat Ismail, peace be upon him, married the daughter of the chief of the same tribe. While the Kaaba was also rebuilt. Thus Makkah became a populated city from a waterless valley. Greater than continued.